Hey everybody, it's Bust. We're doing expedition trial number 301. Easy to remember, one one beyond 300. Let's see what we get. Let's see what shows up. All right, not the most exciting set of champions. I always get excited for the ones that weren't in foundations. But nonetheless, let's see what we can do with this. I'm tempted to just take this Hecarim again. I still really feel like we can make some kind of Hecarim build around if we get a Shurima pack in the second set. And so, if not, we'll try to figure out something else we can do with him. But if you're just out shooting for 7, I feel like you probably just want to take this Lucian. He's all around a pretty powerful champion. You can either just take the Shadow Isles pack and try to put yourself in the Blighted Caretaker deck, or as we've seen here recently, being in Demacia is just pretty good, right? There's just a bunch of good Demacia cards um, out of the Challenger card pool with Lucian or I'm sorry, with Jarvan. There we go. It slipped my mind. And then, just a lot of good things happening down here. But I feel like, Hecarim might need a little bit of time to shine here. And we are starting with the Soul Shepherd, which would ideally work pretty well with Sand Soldiers if we're able to pull off that kind of thing. So let's do this. Let's take a moment and pull him up on the site. We'll talk about him just a little bit more. And if you're not familiar, the site's ftpbus.com. That's where I keep all of my expedition related content. We're just going to scroll our way down to the little drop down box and make our way to Hecarim and see what we're working with here. And so, yeah, like ideally, with Hecarim, he's just paired up with Zed, and you're supposed to be, say, using the cards like Soul Shepherd to give your ephemeral tokens from Zed +1/+1, right? Or you can be using Zed to bring back something like Shark Chariot. So there's a lot of interactions between the two. But we have a new source of ephemerals in Shurima, so we can kind of see if that will piece itself together. Or otherwise, back in the day, we used to just do full Hecarim build arounds to where we would just try to win the game by playing multiple copies of Hecarim. You could use him. You could use something like Spectral Matron, although this was kind of the too expensive one. You could use things like there's that 6-cost Ionia card that copies a card in your hand. I don't think that's still an expedition, but that was kind of the classic Hecarim style deck that we'd be piecing together. It's not that good anymore, but I think we can still piece something together with him now. But depends on what shows up in the second pack. He might just be falling back, falling back into that supporting role. And so, what can we do with these? This is not a particularly good set of cards. We are really getting just kind of stuck with some turds here. And so, I mean, I guess we could try to do the Hecarim build around. We do have the Rekindler. The Rekindler plays pretty good with both Thresh and Hecarim. Yasuo, I don't like playing unless we have access to other stuns, and so I don't really want to play Yasuo unless we are in Ionia. I'm sorry, if we're in Noxus or if we're in Targon, that's where all the stuns live. Or if you're paired up with like a big Ionia pool, you can just run elusives with him. But that's not something we're going to be able to do with Shadow Isles. And then Fizz is even worse at that. Like this is Fizz pool is arguably the worst one in the game. I think it may be better than. Maybe better than Enlightenment Karma, but this one is pretty bad. At least like these cards aren't unplayable. You can find yourselves with some unplayables with Karma. But here, I think we're just kind of stuck taking the Thresh. And so we can get this one pulled up as well with this Death's Door Thresh. It kind of used to be okay, and then it kind of suffered the same fate as Hecarim as to where the cards are just better now. So the idea with this Death's Door Thresh pairs up with Ezreal. It's kind of meant to be able to flip Ezreal. This has all of the Shadow Isles removal spells in it, so you'll see our Grasp of the Undyings, Unspeakable Horror, Vengeance, and the like. And then these give you the targeted abilities that you can use to level up your Ezreal. But otherwise, it's just a whole bunch of one-for-one removal spells. This was kind of good back in Foundations, kind of good with the Rising Tides, and then once Call of the Mountain came out and brought Invokes, there's just been like no reason to ever play Thresh. It was like like Heimerdinger was kind of a struggle for him. Lux was kind of a struggle for him. Then Tom Kench was kind of a struggle for him. But like the Tom Kench plus Invokes are just like multiple like card pools that are just like way better than just sitting around trading one for one and hoping that you get to like get some kind of like Rekindler shenanigans going, or hoping that you get to draw a couple cards with whatever the sacrifice a unit draw 2 thing is. Just like there's trading 1 for 1 is not something that we really want to be doing as a late game strategy in Expedition. And so, the removal spells do live here, and so we can ideally get some Vengeances and Unspeakable Horrors or something together, but we're gonna have to find some help here in the other packs. Ideally, we could find another set of Ionia cards to maybe try to find some Zeds later on, or maybe if we can find some Shurima cards, we could get something trying to go towards Azir. But we're going to need a little bit of help. I really don't like being in this style of mono Shadow Isles. It's just not particularly good. But here I think we're kind of stuck just taking another Rekindler. I could see an argument for being like, well, maybe we can pivot into Nightfall. It's really a stretch when we aren't starting with any of the Nightfall champions, but that could be a way for us to just at least get a good quality set of cards. Because it just feels pretty brutal to dive in here just trying to take the Rekindler. But I do kind of feel like we should have an Ionia pack just show up at some point. We should just see the Shadows and Dust pack make an appearance. And I'm going to take the Rekindler. But this is not a deck I really want to be pushing ourselves towards. And these cards here are abysmal. The moving into the Death's Door Ezreal pack is the strongest as far as card quality is concerned, because otherwise we're stuck just playing Chronicler of Ruin or Chronicler of Ruin with no combos and Pesky Spectre, or Chronicler of Ruin with one of these real terribles in Ancient Crocolith. This is a really painful set of cards, because I do not really want to be pushing ourselves into Piltover. And so I think we might be kind of stuck with it, though. I mean, I don't see what else we can really get out of these. We could make an argument to just take the Ancient Crocoliths because our deck is going to be so bad that we need, something to do. But look at how massively horrible our curve is if we add these in, right? This will push our curve. We got 3 cards over 7, so that'd be 21, 27, 27 plus 5 would be 32, 34, 35, 36. So 36 divided by 10 would be 3.6. It'd get pretty close to 4 by adding in the couple 4s. I think we just have to take these cheaper ones. All right. Well, I'm not super opposed to taking Zonite Urchin with Get Excited. As we're sitting around bitching about how expensive our curve is, Zonite Urchin does give you a little bit of help as far as that's concerned. If we get one of these super awkward openers where we have Zonite Urchin, 2 Rekindlers, and a Hecarim, then we can just cycle off the Rekindler and hopefully improve a little bit. And then Get Excited, it's a premier removal spell. Not super ideal in these style of decks since we don't have generated cards to be discarding, but hopefully we can get something done with it. Okay, I'm gonna just let these go. This this feels really painful to just be passing on the Ether Fiend Vengeance, but it's just so expensive. We just really have to come in here and do some curve management at this point. I would like to pick up another Vengeance, but we just can't take this one. I'm gonna take the card advantage set down here with the Warden's Prey and the Benefactor. Okay, so I mean, we are just going to be full on in this kind of 1-for-1 removal style deck. I think I'm okay with the Gotcha Sump Dredger just to pick up a little bit more removal. We could take this other Sump Dredger with the Grasp of the Undying, but it's just so much more expensive. The times that you get to spike off a Gotcha for 2 really makes it feel better than the Grasp, but we might need the life gain here, so let's stick with that. Boy, these cards are garbage. So I don't want to play more than 2 Rekindlers, so we can skip over this. I don't think we'll need Soul Gorger anyways. Middenstoke Henchman is just complete garbage, and so we're really just kind of stuck taking Doombeast Fading Memories. We could kind of look at Iterative Improvement as a card. I do believe that this counts as a +1 for an Ezreal. I'm almost certain the champion packs we see in the future are going to be Hecarim, Thresh, and Ezreal, and so we do have to kind of keep that in mind as we're trying to craft our deck for the future, but I really just don't want this Henchman. So we'll take the Fading Memories and the Doombeast here. See if we can't get something going with those. All right, this is a little bit better of a Vengeance to be taking. The Puffcat Peddler, you can typically get some, incidental damage in with this thing. Our spell count is really kind of out of whack for that to be any kind of good, but we should still be picking up spells as this trial moves along. But I'm very happy to pick up our second Vengeance. Okay, okay. Well, an Eager Apprentice with a gotcha will work out just fine. Just this is kind of our premier early game play with the Eager Apprentice. Okay, okay. A Mystic Shot with an Insightful Investigator seems good. I don't really want to be playing 3 Vengeances. I've seen so many, so many. There's two Mistrates in the previous pack, and now a Wraithcaller could have just been like, fuck it, we're playing, we're playing Mistrates today. But no, let's look at this. Why are you doing this to me, game? Why would you ever think that this is okay? All right, well. It is what it is. I think we're kind of stuck just taking chump bumps here. We don't have a lot of combos with it, but we might find ourselves kind of swapped over to a Puffcat Peddler style deck. This gives us, some kind of spells that we could be playing if that becomes a thing. And I think here I'm happy to just take my 3rd Eager Apprentice with the Patrol Wardens. Just continue to take the quality units. Cool. Okay, it's just pushing us into the Insightful Investigator deck now, which I'm pretty okay with. It's at least a theme that we can take a little bit more advantage of. But Mystic Shot Patrol Wardens is pretty good. We don't need crumbles with our 2 Vengeance, and these expensives just don't really play to anything that we're doing. Okay, then what a trade. We've it's like right here at the end. It was like, oh, you want to play 2 drops? Sweet. Here's some Mystic Shots and all the two cost matters cards, and then traded away for Puffcat Peddler. I could see an argument for this here. I think our deck is probably a little bit too expensive for this Investigator to be good, and I kind of feel like we might be able to switch into a Puffcat Peddler style deck, and so I think I'm pretty okay with making that trade. Okay, we got a bunch of turds in here, so it should be, reasonably easy for us to find a common card that we haven't leveled up. I know the Puffcat Peddler is. It could be Patrol Wardens, could be a Sump Dredger. I think that's it, though, right? I know I've already leveled up Eager Apprentice. Maybe Warden Spray isn't, but no, I think I'm okay. I think our big, positive card that we're going to get a lot of help from this one is actually just going to be Patrol Warden. So I feel like if we go and make it premium, we'll probably be able to play it on the 2nd turn of every game. And should be a pretty good value. Yeah, look at you. Look at you ready to get leveled up. Look at that. We even got the Prismatic Shards. Nice. Nice. All right, let's get to it. This deck did not come together well. I don't want to say I'd be like surprised if we win 1 game, but I would be surprised if we win like more than 3 or 4. Just not a lot of good going on with this one. This would have been like okay in Foundations, but yeah, like what are we supposed to do? Sit around and trade 1 for 1 until our opponent plays a Religan Soul? Like it's just a real struggle. But I think I'm okay with keeping all this. We do have this reasonable curve of like a 2 to a 3 to a 4. Depends on like how dragony or how elite this guy is, as to where if this like Puffcat Peddler will actually be any good. Maybe we should just get rid of that whole package. Just look for other cheaper units and some interaction. That feels much better. And then of course I do like to hang on to the Threshes in these style of decks. In our round 1, or round 0 as I like to call it. Just the champions are also ultra powerful that I think it's more powerful to keep a card that you can't play until like the 5th or the 6th turn, and know that you're going to draw it as opposed to just not draw it. If it's something expensive like Tryndamere or Aurelion Soul, even like Hecarim, I think has a pretty good argument to just get rid of. But Thresh is kind of like the limit of what I think is reasonable. Okay, I don't think any of this is worth a Mystic Shot, so let's just go ahead and see if our opponent agrees or not.
We will resist.
Okay. Then I don't typically understand this. Like, what do you suspect is going to happen next turn with the Sky Shadows? Are you just going to attack and have it get blocked by Warden's Prey? He probably doesn't want to trade a Pale Cascade here. So I don't understand why you just don't go ahead and make that block happen. Classically, you would in a game like Magic, you would just take the point of damage, but in these style of games tends to not be fine. This seems like a reasonable reason to do that. Just try to get a value attack. We'll have a mystic shot on this lieutenant. Alright, getting them good. Probably just have to open here. It's too easy for him to just to play a 3/3 that shuts down everything we have. This is the exact reasons why you can't play these decks and just sit around and trade 1 for 1. The exact reason. Lunari Priestess and Moondreamers and everything is just, there's just no way for these 1 for 1 these Shadow Isles decks to stand up to this. But we certainly will try.
Wow, did you see that?
A block if he brings it in. Actually, just getting this Thresh to flip might be one of the few ways that we can get a win, or at least threaten a bunch of damage. If we can get him down to, like 8, we might be able to close it out with a big chunk of puff caps. So, okay. All right, well, we got all our Rekindlers. We got all of our card advantage engines ready to go. Ideally, be able to save these for Hecarims, but see how this plays out. Interesting. I never noticed that. I don't know if that's new or not with LOR Guardian, but it has the abilities when you over here on the deck tracker. Tells you what the abilities do. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Oh gosh. Pushed a button. There we go.
Reaching the peak will change everything.
The Tayari? Okay. So like a back-to-back would be pretty abysmal here, but otherwise we should be pretty okay.
You were misguided.
I would assume he doesn't have a back-to-back if he's not blocking our chump one. So.
Defiance is our way.
Pesky Spectre, go and get him. How far away are we? We'll have to try and get him next turn. We might 2 away. We need 1 more unit death. Might be able to get this flip with Pesky Spectre plus Vengeance next turn. I'm pretty on board with that. I think we might get it. We'll have to see. This is our chance to shine here. if we can pull this off and then get Hecarim going, oh, that'd be huge. That'd be huge. The premium Pesky Spectre. Look at that. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, this should just work. He shouldn't be having, like, can't play Bastion is the kind of the thing here. So I think we're in a pretty good spot now. You're getting with these pesky specters. So you just get in there, get in that deck. Nice, nice. Okay, alright, here's our shot. Where's my Hecarim? Why don't we get our Hecarim? Oh, it doesn't do it until after the attack. Okay, that's right. Guess it would be a random champion. You don't get to see it. That's how we do it, boys. Get that lethal in there. Yeah, what up, my friend? What up? Bring in that thunder.
So close.
Do we ever just copy our chump bump and just try to throw 15 puff caps in his deck? Should technically work about a third of the time, or 75% of the time. I think I'm kind of on board with it. Who knows what kind of shenanigans they'll get into with Aurelion Soul. This isn't like a particularly scary Aurelion Soul, but
Let's rock.
I feel much better just trying to threaten these lethals. Uh-oh. Alright, feeling a little better about it now. if he's threatening stuff with the Overwhelm Aurelion Soul, let's go for it. Let's get that. Try to get that 75%er.
Now they'll
Dang.
pay attention.
Alright, might be dead. Can at least block with a Hecarim and then bring Hecarim right back. And so, yeah, have some options. It's just 11 Overwhelm is not something we really want to be facing down. Yeah, Shiny, this is, you were supposed to come down on turn 2. He's taking an awful long time to figure this one out. Might be in a good spot here. Supernova, are you serious? Don't like the shenanigans this guy's up to.
Backup?
I'm your backup.
Admire me.
He can't kill us, though. Do we even wait on the Rekindler? It's not like we have other champions. How could he get out of this? If he has a gain 5, what happens? Like he blocks 1. Just feels so much safer to go ahead and... Oh. Okay, that makes random Celestials. Yeah, this is really close. What do you need? He needs like 2 cards? Alright.
Return to us.
Still pretty reasonably get around the big Celestial removal spells. And then it wouldn't be like a disaster if he has a, like the thing that gives Double Bird. Like Double Bird is typically how you want to respond to something like this. Okay.
Any last words?
Okay. This is either successful at this point or it's not, but he'll just win if he has some way to deal with all of these. Okay. Alright. We won a game. Good job. Good job, team. Nice job, fam. Okay, so yeah, see, here's the Ezreal that's going to offer up to us. I just really don't want to pursue this Ezreal. We're never going to flip him, right? We have 8 spells in our deck. I mean, that would get us up to 10, but that's still not enough. I think we just have to go for Hecarim here and try to rely on these, Hecarim plus Rekindler kind of plays to close out games. And then I mean, we're picking up the Harrowing, right? The Harrowing always good enough to just close out some games, and so see what we can do here. Okay. One of the classics here. I was kind of hoping that like a Teemo would show up. I wouldn't be opposed to try to push this to be in a Teemo deck. Can't have it all the time, I guess. Okay. I'm almost tempted to keep these Hecarims, but we can't. We can't keep a 6 here. Now that we have 2 copies of them, this could be a reasonable start. Playing some kind of Blighted Caretaker deck.
Where are you?
It does strike me as odd though if you say start with like Fizz Lucian and then just pick up Callistas. Like you 100% never start Lucian Callista and add a Fizz. Oh, curious where that came from.
Push back the darkness.
I'm on it.
Burn away the shadows.
All right, this is it. Only one of his factions has a removal that can stop this, or a trick that can stop this. Good. I knew you'd show up, Patrol Wardens.
After them?
After 'em.
Sounds about right. I'm still just gonna bring all this in. He either has to trade his Callista for a Patrol Wardens or just take a boatload of damage. So if she wants to come in and block Eager Apprentice, it's fine. It was an interesting choice in giving us the Patrol Warden. Well, yeah, Pesky Spectre, you've been showing up all over the place. So you guys say, hell yeah, Pesky Spectre. But no, this has gone reasonably well for us, right? Like the way that he wants to flip his Callista or flip his Lucian's mainly going to be with Blighted Caretakers. And so now if he wants to Blighted Caretaker here, he has to have a 1-drop. And so, it would be a bit unfortunate if he's able to pull off that play. But we should be reasonably safe. If he wants to attack with his Callista here, he's going to have to make horrible attacks with his Silverwing Vanguards. So, all in all, pretty good for us. I think we have to open. If we don't open, then he could just flip his Callista, right? She doesn't have any bonuses on her. His board isn't like that scary, but we really don't want him hitting with her. So now he can like play a unit and then kill it later, but we at least want him to have to like put in work if he's going to flip this Callista, as opposed to like if we played Zonite Urchin, he's just going to play a dude and get her to flip now with no work.
What's that noise?
That's a draw. That's a draw right there, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to get the Peddler on board. At least try to get some value out of these spells. Remembrance Share. I was going to say he can flip his Callisto, that's fine. As long as he doesn't hit Radiant Guardian, then the Screeching Dragon's not a big deal either. I like to Get all these puff caps going though. I feel like this dragon probably has to hook the puff cap peddler though. What you got for us, friend? Tasty squash over here, thinking hard.
There they go.
Okay, cool. No! No! Alright.
Show some respect.
We'll just leave the aristocrat. There's no reason to pick up this Callista and then have to try and find like another way to just deal with this blocker that's left over. Interesting, and get excited.
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform.
Yeah, all these 3-cost spells for our Tri-Beam and Probulator. Oh, fuck. This is going to get out of hand, doesn't it? Okay. Just don't think we can burn him out here. We do have another Puffcat Peddler we can kind of like stall for. But, man, I'm pretty sure that we're just going to have to like end up playing Get Excited on his Callista. Or maybe Get Excited on... I don't really care if he's Screeching Dragons, any of those stuff, but like these attacks just do not seem good, right? Am I right in that sense? Say we attack with everything. Dragon gets a value block on like an Eager Apprentice. You can put a 4/3 in front of 2/1. You can trade Mistwraith for, I don't know, Chump Wump. You can put Hapless Aristocrat in front of Patrol Wardens, and then our whole board is just like aced. So yeah, this is not a good spot. Really wish we still had that Puffcat Peddler.
I must get out of here. You have to get me out of here.
What seems to be the problem?
We ever just discard Eager Apprentice? Like, this dude's not doing anything this game. Let's actually hang on to these puff caps. Alright, now do we pass or do we try to play Tri-Beam onto the Spiderling? I think we can just pass here. Hopefully he'll just play something post-combat that we can kill with this. Right, he's got an assload of mana here. I think there's a good chance he plays something.
Did that sound right?
Okay.
That technique.
Still a little far away from wanting to play these things. Alright. You want to take down a Doom Beast? I should actually just be taking down this Fizz. I don't think so. Let's take down Doom Beast. So bad if he's just like, here's my random spell. Your unit's not winning this combat. Fine. Okay, I'm just sitting here just saying like, all right, here comes the harrowing. The equalizer.
What delightful agony we shall inflict.
Okay, I was trying to think if we've gotten to the mushroom cloud point yet. We still have, we either want to hit a Puffcat Peddler or we want to hit a Sump Dredger with these things. I think we're still okay to wait. What you got, Squash? All right. Seems good. I mean, we're technically ahead, right? Okay. This gives him forever vulnerable, so let's wait until next turn before we try to... What? Why? Why would you do that? He's gonna die and give him a Thresh a tick up. Oh, an ethereal remitter. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, and he hits a Zevi? Ugh. Oh no, this is gonna make them ephemeral. Oh boy, that was a hit. Okay. Maybe he won't hook Thresh with Zevi. That would be nice. Maybe we just need Thresh to die now. Ideally, Thresh will flip and then die, right? Okay, so how do we want to do this? We can technically just like Fading Memories his Zevi to get our Thresh to flip and then bring out our Hecarim. I think I'm cool with this. We want our units to be dying this turn.
There's a right tool for everything.
He's playing these cards and it's like, no Black Spear, please. No Black Spear, please. Okay. Alright. Zevi's still a pain, but we're about to get our Hecarim. Have our Rekindlers going.
Built to spec.
We just want to take his big boy. Or do we want to take a Fleet Feather Tracker? Probably just a big boy. And then I have to see what he does, but I'm planning on playing Glimpse Beyond on one of these Hecarim tokens.
I do not take orders from you.
Okay.
I joined them.
Alright, well we can definitely get wider than him now. Okay.
Return to us.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
Alrighty, well, let's see where that gets us. He's gonna have... He should only be able to get us for 2. Then he'll of course be drawing 2 cards this turn, but... should be good.
Double trouble.
Okay.
Dragon, such fascinating.
Those guys' Zevi hits have just been bonkers this game. Just adding these dragons in. Can we win before he gets all these dragons down? He can probably just, like, unless he hits 2 of the 4 cost ones, he can only play 1 dragon. And depending on what he hit, like if he hit like Eclipse Dragon, then that would be the end of his plays. Phew, must be nice, my man. Must be nice.
What a specimen.
This does not seem intelligent. He just has the dragons in his hand, right? Why would he be sacrificing his whole board here when we're just going to be like fully wide on him? Do not understand this. Right? He has a dragon and he has a dragon generator thing in his hand.
With
Yeah.
a little time, I'll have a break.
There's nothing here that's ultimately very scary. Sure.
Dragons is begun. Oh dear.
Built to spec.
Okay.
Runaway bike in pursuit.
And that should do it, right? Unless he just like drew judgment. Okay. Stalking Shadows. Alright, we got this one. We got it. Good game, Fred. That one took some work, but we got there. Let's see. Man, these are like all of our good cards. I guess Warden's Prey is not quite what I would classify as our good cards, but hey, man, this is our way to get pesky specters, right? Right? That's what we're doing with that. But I mean, I think like I'm cool with like the kind of like Sump Dredger, Zaunite Urchin Puffcap theme as a way for us to kind of get some value. The Unspeakable Horror, though, is going to be doing something fairly similar. I just rather not be losing units this high quality. But I think it's okay. I think the Zaunite Urchin's a little better than the Dredger here. Let's do pick up Unspeakable Horror. Alright. Alright, off we go. Let's see if we get past this 3-win mark. Hey man, if we keep getting these flipped Threshes into Hecarims into Rekindlers, then, you know, anything's possible. Let's get rid of all this. We gotta find something a little cheaper. Okay. So, what should be a reasonable hand against a Nightfall deck. Having these early value plays tends to play pretty well against what they're trying to do.
Gotta get out of here.
Right, they're gonna open with like the guy that makes the dust petal, and then open on turn 2 with the guy that makes the gives you like 2 spell mana or something. It's pretty tough for them to, you know, want to slam those units into a Warden Spray. Get that Nightfall.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
Okay. So what do we think about the need to open here? It's pretty tough for them to play units that we care about, but I mean, do we really want to get Assembly Bot going? I'm really considering just discarding Assembly Bot to the Urchin. I think this is okay. There are some like 3/3s they can play here, which would be awkward, but vast majority of the units out of Nightfall just don't have 3 health here. You would need like the either like the 2/3 2-drop that gets, you know, elusive, or the 3/3 that generates the healing card. There's just not a whole lot of good plays. Yeah, Sky Shadows fits the bill.
What's that noise?
So pretty reasonable to assume that he's just going to trade these units for our 2/1s. Leave us with the Warden's Praise.
No.
It's spectacular. Need a little bit of something. Okay.
That technique.
Something good. We've hit 2 pesky specters and a caustic cask with our Warden Spray. I don't have very high expectations for that guy, but that is pretty low right there. Okay, never blocking. Oh, I thought he was gonna. I just saw the dog come down and assumed it was Nightfall. Okay, that's like I'd like to. Oh, I should have discarded Caustic Cask. That was, eh. I want to just be able to open and get some damage in next turn. So, you know, ideally we would be able to save that get excited for something like a Nocturne, but we gotta get to doing something here. What spells have we played? Oh, is it just getting get excited? Oh, it must be nice. I think we just have to bank here. Yep. Starting to fall pretty far behind. Really need a champion for these Rekindlers to do something. That's a bold move.
Just keeping the peace.
Oh man, it'd be so sick if we had a our Unspeakable Horror. So sick. This board sucks so much to attack into. Right.
Tell headquarters.
I think we have to attack. It's just too easy for him to just play something big now. If he plays, you know, the Cloven Way or plays an Eclipse Dragon or something, then our attacks are just going to completely get shut down. And play the Get Excited. Did this card Zenith played? Wow. Maybe he just doesn't have any more copies in his deck. Okay. But yeah, this is ultimately one of the things that you would have happen with the Hecarim decks is you just don't draw Hecarim. This is when it really kind of brought forth the idea of a third Unspeakable Horror. It really brought forth the idea back in Foundations of you know, trying to find a way to win that didn't involve your champion, and kind of this, you know, theory of how things should go as far as you know, your unit, your like kind of play styles, right? Fiora is kind of the common one to see as to where, you know, you're playing this big Fiora OTK deck, and then what do you do if you just never draw Fiora? It's like now we play the Challenger Dragon, but in, you know, these Hecarim decks, what do you do if you never draw Hecarim? We don't. There's not a whole lot of great answers to that question in Shadow Isles. What are you gonna do? You can be like, well, I'm playing Scuttlegeist. And then if it's not Scuttlegeist, it's like, well, maybe I'll find a Rasa or a Commander Ladros or something. It's pretty challenging in Expedition to pull that kind of thing off. Okay, so we're gonna get blasted for a bit of damage, but I'm gonna. At least we found a pretty good copy for good target for our Fading Memories here.
What seems to be the problem?
Okay. Maybe we should have dropped the cask, but I was kind of hoping we get a little value out of this thing. So that's the thing to do. Yeah, I wish we killed off our unit now. This isn't like particularly good, but it should be putting like a whole bunch of 4 attack units on the board, right?
Oh, that's a
few.
good one.
And let's say if he blocks our 2 big ones, be 4, 7, 9, 11. So let's just attack with everything that isn't our Patrol Warden. I don't take him to 5. Yeah, that's right.
We burn, then kindle.
I wonder what that feels like. I would love to know what it feels like to play a Rekindler and to get a champion out of it. Damn.
No more lies.
Oh. Okay. So here, I think we just have to be in the land of hopes and dreams. Let's throw these down. Do have the caustic cask that we can play next turn, and we can play 5 Evershade Stalkers, so maybe that will be enough. Okay. He's just got a Stalker. Let's see how this plays out. Doesn't feel very positive for us. Gotta play the chump wump so we have a way to get in more damage. Probably gonna get a 3 damage with that. Rah. Okay. Takes him to 5. Can't get to block in with the caustic cask. Alright, I think he's gonna get us. We could draw a Grasp of the Undying. That would be pretty top notch. Nice. Oh, is he gonna open? Oh, he's gonna open? Nice. Yeah, what are you stalling so long for, friend? Oh shit. Oh shit. We can even survive our caustic cask now. Oh, he drew a card? Oh man. Oh man. Oh, that's the stuff right there. We gonna do this? We're gonna do this, aren't we? These cards don't matter, bruh. Oh, it feels so good to just have that top deck every once in a while, you know? Mr. Bad News, getting the bad news. Oh man. Okay. Digging for something. There it is. That's the stuff right there. Okay. Sure. Nice. That's how you do it, boys. That's how you do it. Who needs to draw champions? Alrighty, good stuff. What do we have here? Probably just taking another Hecarim. I think that's kind of what we're stuck doing with this style of deck. Could make an argument for another Thresh, but I don't want either of these cards. We're good with 2 Rekindlers. So, Hecarim, Never Good Collector is fine here. It really helps stall out some games, and then Startlegeist. Sure. Sure, right? Okay. Got our 3rd win. Did it in style. No stopping us now. All right. And Kindred shows up. Let's let the Salt Fest begin. So I think we do something like this. Soul Shepherd's just, a 5-stat 2-drop. And then we'll look for other cards, things like, what's he called? Puffcat Peddlers, very late game play in this style of deck. So I don't really like holding on to those cards, even though, excuse me, even though they're pretty on curve. Alright, and the Eager Apprentice is probably safe, but well, we do Patrol Warden.
Citizen.
Ugh. Would rather just have the Eager Apprentice. It's like, it's fine in the sense that, we're just trading 2 mana for 2 mana. But if they ever start, like, playing Fearsomes, I would rather have the additional stats.
Would you look at this place? Too slow, stupid.
Okay,
I go.
sure.
Can't steer.
Patrol Wardens Part 2. Okay. Maybe we'll get a Mystic Shottable unit here. If not, it's okay to just bank up this 3. We'll have to play Vengeance at some point.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
We're going in.
Alrighty. See what happens when this Kindred comes down.
They retreat.
We don't have to care like a whole lot at the moment. Let's see if he wants to like spend some mana, or he's gonna at least attack with him. Oh, he doesn't even attack. Interesting.
Clear?
Move out.
Okay. Weird, he's just not gonna slay anything. Big decision coming in right here.
Lovely day for a battle.
Shenanigans were not afoot, I guess. Right.
Everyone's a garden.
It's not particularly intimidating. He can't play Kindred here. I don't think we care about too much of this stuff. Let's at least start getting some value out of our spells. Like, he needs another card for any of this to be interesting, right? He needs a Unspeakable Horror or something. Good Spirit Fire, I guess.
Away like grains of sand. To ruin.
They grow up so fast.
It's not horrible. Take like a 6 or 7 chunk here. 6 goes to 19. This board looks pretty bad. Okay. We have the answer to Blighted Caretaker if we want to go for it. But
I've always been a fun guy.
okay. Alright, we're just doing this. this will be good enough. We can get in with an onlooker if we want, but it's all puff caps all the time from this point forward.
Shall we, dear wolf?
I'm ready, little lamb.
Yeah, we can't protect our puff cap peddler with the onlooker now.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
So we didn't have a whole lot of spells anyways, but
Oh, that's a harvest right there.
fun. This game's gonna stop being fun.
Its heart beats fast now.
It knows.
So we just attack with everything here, right? This is just 100% attacking because it's gonna die anyways. The Blighted Caretaker wants to block Patrol Wardens. Kindred onto this thing's whatever. At least we get damage onto Kindred. Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Give them a chance. My pretty.
His his Neverglade Collector certainly feels better than the stack of puff caps we put in his deck, but let's see what we can do. Still pretty in it. I would ideally be able to deal with this collector, but this is fine still. What you gonna do, friend?
The hunt begins.
Can we just eat this one? It's like the unfortunate thing here is we don't have a very good attack back next turn. We can't open, we have to play cards. You know, like a damage a turn. Alright, making all the big boy decisions here. What you got for us, friend? This is ultimately one of the things I absolutely hate about Kindred is it takes fucking forever to figure out how any of the combats work. Okay. Reasonable enough. I assume we're not going to just hit... There's a world we'd like to open with Chump Wump, but I assume that's never going to happen.
Death begins your forever.
Then what do we think about just not attacking and seeing if we can't let these puff caps soak in? We're out of peddlers, so we're free to just throw them down.
They never stop.
But it's like if we play our 3 units, he has, you know, good trades on 2 of them. Then he gets the drains out of that as well. Or we can play Hecarim. Pretty on board with that. So if we're going to do that, let's start with the Chump Wump. We'll be able to do this. We'll be able to Hecarim. He's going to put Mask Mother in front of Hecarim, which is ultimately fine.
We stand in the footprints of long trodden.
Okay, well, that's a thing, I guess. So, I guess at least the thing with this board, let's think now, if we play Hecarim and attack, he can still just block everything. Ugh, this is so bad.
The shadow approaches.
That's about right. That's about right. That was about as fun as I expect any Kindred match to be, which is, you know, on a scale of 10, right around about a 1.5. So, well done, guy. At any rate, let's see what we can do here. I don't really want to make any of these trades. I like to keep the card advantage we get out of the Benefactor. Gotcha's pretty low value here. I like the Patrol Wardens. Aftershocks are a little slow. And then the Aristocrat, we don't have any sacrifice combos. And being able to play the Apprentice into Mystic Shots is a pretty big game. All right, yeah, I don't know how you all feel about that one, but I thought it was pretty not fun. So I tend to try to stay pretty positive, but you can see me just like dive right into the bad place as soon as I see Kindred show up. It's just not any fun whatsoever. This is Trundle Victor. We should probably just always start with the Aristocrat.
What's that noise?
Yeah, it's like any kind of interaction, we'd prefer to have the unit, staying on the board. Like we attack and he has. I guess the turn 1 example isn't that great, but
Happy to do whatever's needed.
I think he's probably always better. Oh, picking up the gotcha. I think we're free to play the Warden's Prey. Just try and play gotcha on whatever he plays. I am going to stick to Mystic Shot here. It does suck that our gotcha is going to be expensive, but it's just so likely that him playing Freylord that he's going to have like a healthy number of 3 health units, and I think the mana cost will actually be pretty relevant here. Or the 1 point of damage will be pretty relevant, I should say. Ugh. We just run it out? What's our ephemerals like? We don't have that many. we gotta wait on Hecarim to get our ephemerals going with Shark Chariot. Combo. Oh, it's a last breath. Shit. Things will go right for us at some point in time. Okay. Collect my epic. Blade Roast. We just want to keep being efficient? I think so.
Citizen?
Footprints here.
Everybody's got them. Okay. All the values out of this chump wump. Get excited in the urchin. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Trundle Victor. So it turns out it was the Trundle.
Secure me tail. Start the day.
What does he want from me?
Alright, definitely gonna just open here.
I gotta get out of here.
Okay. No more ice shards, huh? He did draw Victor. Interesting. How much do we even care about Victor? Like, not a whole lot. We can vengeance him now if we want. I just don't think we care about that one. And he hit the spell shield. That's what I was like thinking in the back of my mind. Is like, man, if he hits the spell shield, it could be slightly awkward if we do want to deal with him in the future. But I think this is fine.
Another brilliant design.
All right. Here's our way to get our Shark Chariot back. Shark Chariot round 1.
Yes, of course.
Is that Fury?
Trolls are going to war! Bow to your king!
Alright, well, this is like, well, I'm not gonna play the Vengeance until he makes me play it. I think this is fine. Okay. Alright, let's get him. What happens if we hit with everything? He has to block Ladros with Victor. Well, I guess he can block with the something now. But he's going to have to block our 2 bigs. I think we just get in here. There's a non-zero chance we just kill him with Get Excited this turn. Okay. Let's see how much mana we can get him to spend here. I'm going to do this thing where we just play the burst on our Ladros. Give him a chance to spend some mana, and then we'll try to play Get Excited later. Like with him playing Trundle, decent chance that he has some of those like Catalyst of the Aeons kind of cards. All right, I'm doing it. Got him. Good game, Jim. Alright, how can we improve? None of these really feel like improvements. How many eager apprentices would we ever want? I don't think we really want more than 3. Like, if we were in one of these, like, Ezreal decks that has, like, 5 Mystic Shots in it, then I'd feel pretty okay with pushing up higher. Or if we're playing the Insightful Investigator decks, I'm okay with it. There's an argument to kind of pick up Spirit Leech. We do have a lot of these turdy early game plays. Our only real card advantage in that sense is Glimpse Beyond. We don't have combos with this thing, really. I'm okay with this. I like having a little bit of these abilities, because so many of our early game plays are just so bad. You know, try to cycle them away in the later game. Really just out here grounding these things out. chunking in with these ones right here at the end of the game. Like a very important text message from my mother about the printer. So we can get back to it. So, all right, keep the urchin. See what we can find. Against Lulu and Azir. I'm good to cycle Doom Beast. The Harrowing is like, it sucks to have it at this stage of the game, but it is just too good to let go. So we'll just hang on to it. And I'm going to open. Very easy for him to play something that's pretty awkward for us here. Beautiful, beautiful. Really choice draw against what's probably a support deck, right? Getting in them having no 1 and then having an answer to their 2. Very good. If you're not familiar with what we talk about with these support decks, is they typically have to curve out super hard. They really need to be playing a 1, a 2, and a 3. Because like with his Young Witch play there, like him just like attacking with Young Witch on its own is such a bad investment. So it's quite the awkward draw here.
Do not see what is, see what will be.
How much are we going to care about Azir? I think little. I think little is the amount we're going to care. Let's just go ahead and go face, and then I'm going to play the Priestess. He's got a lot of work to do to get around this package. Okay. Charger will work.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night.
Just slam all these damages in.
Yup, that tasted purple.
Tasted purple.
Sun's beneath me and wind's behind me.
Are we lethal yet with this?
Help the poor.
In pursuit.
Not quite, but we're gonna get him for. Oh fuck, fuck. Oh, that's gonna be a game changer. At least we can do things with do things with the harrowing a turn from now. Okay. That feels okay-ish, right? So he just has Lulu. Gonna get this thing. Do we just want to take the Scourge? 3. We can play the Destroyer next turn. But I'm really intent on just banking 3 mana. I think we have plenty of time to get the Scourge going.
Oh, that's a good one.
Did we lose a champion yet? It's just like consistently what we have to ask ourselves every single time, every game. We get that champion yet?
Sticking's faster. Liquefy!
Okay. What's our biggest unit that we've lost? Like a 4/3? Does Hecarim change this? I think Hecarim changes this.
Till I go tremendo, and everything is okay again. There's my favorite wonderful munchkin.
The one who eats. Hello. You're strange.
Okay. Dang, we were really hoping that he would just kill our Hecarim. Maybe we'll get a block with him.
It only awaited my return.
Not quite sure what Trevor Snoozebottom does, but I don't think it's very good for us, whatever it is.
Out here, you're moving, or you're
Do we have to play the Rekindler first? The thing with Rekindlers is they will bring back Hecarim with the Harrowing.
We each died,
Probably need to.
then found home.
Support, create an attacking mumble sprite. Let me figure out what this shit does.
Tell the people what you have seen today.
And here we see the rarely seen pigs. These super cute and magical, yeah!
Okay. How unfortunate is this stuff? To do something like this and... Oh, it's got elusive? Are we just dead? Did we lose this one? We dead. We dead, fam. Dang. I think we could have made a harrowing play. I just felt like we were going to be a little short with that. That was awkward. That feels like a game we totally should have won. I was at least glad, like, I was thinking the ultimate mistake in that game was going to be, like, from where, with this, I was scared of Assembly Bot. I don't want 3 Rekindlers, but this thing's just horrible. I thought it was ultimately going to be, like, you know, we had the choice to try and pop his Kinku Wayfinder. Maybe, I mean, maybe that's partially what our problem was? No. Like my big worry there was what he did, that he was just going to have a combat trick. We can't have that happen to where we play it. He just combat tricks us, but man, like we should have had that one.
Nowhere. I mustn't stop.
It was a pretty nice 5-for-1 Spirit Fire, if you if you want to give him credit for that.
How can I help? Right! Did that sound right?
I have urgent news.
Say we should probably go ahead and do this.
I must reach the king.
Have a mushroom.
I think this is safe. If he wants to Tattered Banner into Honored Lord, then we have the Mystic Shot for it.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
For the prince.
He's doing it now. Well, he's not going to rally. Okay. Don't quite understand that, but sure. That's probably going to hit our Puffcat Peddler.
Raise the banner. Lift our spirits.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk. Or once, am I right? Right it. There they go.
Alrighty, let's see if we can get anything out of this.
My pretty.
I was hoping we could get a little bit better goings on with these puff caps, but
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform.
I just think that's ultimately where we're at with this game. We're going to be doing a lot of hoping and dreaming. We can stop there. We can block the Great Horn Companion with the Chump Wump, and then on a... Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. We're about to get blasted. I was counting on being able to use this Vengeance next turn.
Excuse you.
Okay. Brutal. Brutal.
Right out.
Maybe he'll just try to like open on us next turn or something, and we can kind of recover in that sense.
Cavalry to the
Prince Jarvan. Thank goodness
Well,
you're
that wasn't quite the open I was really hoping for, but he did it. We got what we asked for, I guess. This is bad. This is bad. Who do we add? We can grasp next turn. We just want to play Eclipse Dragon. What do we get out of just adding Hecarim? We can bank spell manas this way, though. Alright, let's play Hecarim. I think this is probably out of reach, but maybe. Maybe.
right out. The young prince will be found. Charge!
Alright, well this has to go right or we lose. So if he has a barrier or something or a way to protect his Garen, that's fine. But I don't think we can make these like ultra greedy plays to where we're just going to be like trying to grasp the Undying as Penitent Squire. Okay.
One candle for every soul.
In formation!
Run, fight, it makes no difference.
So many big boys. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on. That was like his first buff cap damage, too. He did so many rounds of damage before he got took even one puff cap damage. Alright, good game, buddy. Ugh. Well, it's not that bad. I mean, that's about what I would realistically expect out of this deck. You know, we kind of called it out from the beginning that if we got much beyond 3 or 4 wins, we'd be pretty surprised, and that's about where we were. I guess, you know, we technically should have gotten up to 5, maybe. That previous game seemed very winnable, but we didn't get there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if we played the harrowing in that one, it would have forced him to sacrifice off some of his units, but I didn't think we were so close to losing as we were. But nonetheless, I mean, this is ultimately one of these trials as to where it was like, I kind of wish that there was like a ranked system in Runeterra, because I feel like, you know, when you get stuck with this like Hecarim Thresh, that we are at least able to, you know, we took this to, we'll call it 4.5 wins, right? We'll probably call it 4.5. But I feel like, you know, that's one of our like real advantages here is, you know, taking these abysmal card pulls and the Shadows and Dust Hecarim and then getting stuck with a Thresh and, you know, doing something with it, making something work with it, kind of at least understanding where the strengths and weaknesses are and what kind of, you know, strategies you can piece together into a deck. That's where ultimately I think, you know, the payoff would end up showing up. I guess that shows up in our win rate, but, you know, it would be nice to, you know, show the world how great we are with our diamond rank or whatever it would be. But nonetheless, that reminds me, there was like a thread rolling on Reddit a couple days ago, maybe 3 days ago now, that it was like, why don't people like Expedition or something like that? It was something very vague, and I think it's interesting. I think Expedition's fantastic. I get why, you know, people wouldn't want to play it. In general, the responses you kind of see are people don't think the rewards are high enough, and so if you're going to make a 90-minute investment, 2-hour investment in a 7-win trial, getting back an epic capsule in 2000 dust doesn't feel that big. There's some people, like we were just talking about, as to where, you know, if there's no ranked system, it's hard to say, you know, how much better am I now than I was 6 months ago, or, you know, can I climb to masters, or can I get the rank 1 in the world? You know, that kind of thing doesn't exist. And then kind of there's just also just a group of people that don't like limited formats. But I love it here. I think it's great. I wish there was, you know, a way we could really kind of showcase our finessing in these, but it is what it is. I'm still going to keep playing. I'm still having a lot of fun doing this. But nonetheless, you know, back to this kind of like Hecarim style deck. This used to be, you know, this is kind of like a meshing of what 2 decks used to exist. There used to be kind of this, you know, Hecarim build around that we talked a bit about in the draft section, but didn't get too much into, to where you're playing the Hecarim, you're playing the Rekindlers. To a degree, if you find the harrowing, good job. And then also, Ionia used to have like 2 or 3 cards that would let you copy your units. Like there's the 6-cost 4/4 that puts a copy of a card in your hand. There's the thing that makes 2 ephemeral copies of a unit. I feel like there's one more, but, you know, at the end of the day, there's like 5 or 6 cards that could copy Hecarim, and that used to just be, you know, he used to just be the best late game champion in the game. You can, if you go back and look at the early patch notes, he was getting nerfed like every other patch. They tooled around with his mana, they tooled around with his attack and health, they messed around with his spectral riders, and then they eventually, like, a new set came out and they're just like, hey, Hecarim's fine, nobody's playing him anymore. but no, this used to be like a real deck where these kind of things were going on. And so, you know, kind of like meshing that up with some of these what is this? I'm trying to think what this Thresh deck is called. Some of these Death's Door kind of strategies, you know, that's what we're aiming for here. There's a lot of strategies that are just better than this now, but it was nice to know what we were going for. So, I mean, if you do find yourself stuck with these, at least I guess, I don't want to like sit around and just talk about how to draft this deck because it's not that great. At the end of the day, if you can just sit around and draft all the removal spells that you can find and then put, some kind of good unit in your top end, that's what you're going to end up with out of a Death's Door deck. And so, at least, the big takeaways for this are the Death's Door Thresh is just a big pile of removal spells. And then how do you best take advantage of getting to 10 mana, 12 mana, 13 mana? That is, the Harrowing is pretty good. Playing a bunch of Hecarims every turn is pretty decent, at least, not as good as it used to be, but it's still a thing now. And that's, ideally just what you would be looking for here. The big problem that you have with Shadow Isles and then also pairing them up with Piltover is their top end is horrible. There is no Aurelian Soul. It's not like Freylord where you can be like, well, I'll just play Usgar, and if you do come across like even in like Targon, you have like Eclipse Dragons and Vokes and all that. All those factions all have very good late game. Shadow Isles and Piltover do not. And so that's ultimately where you'll struggle. You can't find yourself getting into where you're a late game where your plan is Scuttlegeist. You have to have either a big spell like the Harrowing, you have to find Commander Ladros, or Hecarim is the other kind of late game thing you could try to pursue. But that is what it is. One for one trades, stall the game out, win the game late. Classic control deck kind of things. What you're trying to piece together here. But that will do it for us today. I do believe there's a handful of rewards to click on. Let me scroll around and see. Looks like a ton of things in the old loot box. What do we get in here? Sump Dredger, we should have got you before the trial started. When it comes to these, you got to take the unit, right? Because they're on the board and hanging out and stuff. So welcome to the team Sump Dredger. What is this, an essence pouch? Good job. All the essences. Protecting my pocketbooks. And the prismatic chest. Something cool. Man, I'm not taking Golden Narwhal. I don't like this card. So we'll take the Frozen Throne. This is a late play. We're going to expect Lysandra to be good in the future. And so we'll see what we can do with that. We'll be all surprised once it just pops up and we have it. We're out there. We're out there playing our Lysandras with our Frozen Thralls. Okay, and then the 3 diamond chests. Been a while since we've done that. I've been playing some of the old Lab of Legends, and that helps you pick up some of these experience points. All the shards. Here we go. We're probably pushing 200k. We're getting close. Getting close. Ultimately, I was talking about that Reddit thread. Now, I do wish that there was something that you could do with the rewards. It's like, ultimately, I would assume that Riot's goal is just sell a bunch of skins. But when you're sitting on 200,000 shards, it's like there has to be some kind of money sink. They would always in Hearthstone they had like the heroic things that cost like the 10,000 gold to enter. Wouldn't be surprised if they eventually did something like that here. That's what I was kind of hoping. Like ultimately, my belief that the support for Expedition will be around for a while is you can join with tokens, with coins, right? And so you can technically jump into Expedition for money. And so I ultimately believe Riot, I've never heard of anyone actually spending coins to join an Expedition trial, but one of the few ways for them to make money is there. Maybe someone will take it. But as the rambling ends, we will go ahead and stop this trial. Hope you all learned how to generate those Hecarims a little bit better. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.